Oh, hello. This is the third part on research method and paper writing series. So, in this part, basically, I would like to cover literature review and so on. So, if you did not visit the previous two series, just part one and part two are here. So, I am Ahad from my University of Dhaka, Bangladesh, and at this moment, I'm working at Osaka University. So in the previous slides, or previous two presentations, we covered that the basic steps or characteristics of research is problem identification and reviewing information, proposal, experiment, data collection, and so on. Finally, analysis and drawing conclusions and generalization. This part we make a literature review because this is the most important part to do a good work. So it means that reading the work of others before starting your own research work. It's just like learn from the past to build the future. So this is very important. Otherwise, you do something, maybe very hard working job, but the result is not, as per the requirement because you did something what already somebody may have done. So there are different strategies, but in this slide, you can find that you have to define your idea with some general terms from the general sources, like you can go to the IEEE Spectrum or some SCM magazines or newspapers to see. For example, if you consider the traffic accident problem, this is an issue. So what to do next? So go for secondary sources, find if there is any specific books or genuine reviews or surveys from genuine experts. Remember, if you Google, you will find lots of reviews like 5 pages, 6 pages, 10 pages, something like that. And basically, those most of those are rubbish. Why I say rubbish? Because those are not written by experts. Maybe some people compare 5, 10 methods, not even a systematic comparison. They just did some analysis and submitted to crap journals or conferences and published. So you cannot get any kind of incentive from those papers. So that's why you need to search for surveys or reviews from genuine experts or big groups, okay, and large big length papers, so that you can read and get some good information from those. So for example, in the traffic accident problem, what are the state of the art, the latest works and challenges ahead on solving traffic accidents? Based on those, you can pick and go for primary or base source. By primary or base sources, we mean that original reports of the original work or experience, for example, top journals or top conferences, and or abstracts or scholarly books, where proven methods based on the challenge are mentioned. Remember that you have to design your plan based on your time. Like if you do the research for 6 months versus 1 year versus 3 years, huge difference to make a goal and plan. And ability, like of course you need to think about resources and ability. Like if it is a short time and you don't have strong math background, so you should think accordingly. But human ability is enormous, infinite. So if you try, you can do. So select some keywords, like compile a list of keywords and terms related to the research problem, and discuss the research problem with a specialist and or colleagues to get some better information, better literature. Discussing, brainstorming is very important. Okay, so Wikipedia is not a source, but Wikipedia has lots of information, so you can look into that and look at the original references they put at the bottom of each article, and you can find some of those as effective one. Sometimes non-English people, non-English native people, you will find that some words are not clear, so go to the freedictionary.com to get the meanings. They give lots of different meanings with illustrations and others, so it will be very. To get research paper, this is one of the major problems in developing countries, that most of the journals or conference proceedings are not open source. You have to pay, and many universities in developing countries, they do not subscribe. How to get those? So one strategy I did always, that I search with different topics and titles. I get the PDF. Fine. Sometimes you do not get the exact paper, but maybe they have another paper, similar paper before or after, which is suitable. Then, if you do not, then read the free abstract and try with that title, even if you don't get it. So what I do regularly, even yesterday I did that, need your paper, and that mention the paper title, and then email them. Most likely they will reply. How to get the email? If you look at the abstract and author details, most of the cases they have at least one email address. So find that and email. So this way you can. So next point is that how to contact with experts. Like, I want to do something. I in my region, or my known people, there is no one who can help, or maybe one or two, but I need more help. So you can write to organization and institute that may have interest in the research problem, or from the survey or primary sources, contact any related research who can help you. So what we need to have more collaborative researches and more discussions with experts, not difficult, because nowadays even email or Skype-based advices or comments are very common. But genuinely take, expert opinions, not from, someone who has no knowledge. Okay, and find the experts in many universities in your country. It's a problem that in some region maybe egoism or non-cooperation, these are existing, but try to find and break the barrier. For example, Bangladesh now has 150 plus universities, and we need much more collaborations among each other. So based on those, organize your notes and write. So when you write your proposal, you have to remember that planning is necessary based on time and capacity and resources, as I mentioned before. So sometimes good papers, they recommend some future research work suggestions at the end of conclusions, or sometimes in the discussions, later part of the discussions. Good papers always put some kind of information from where you can get some idea. So read the discussions, analysis or conclusions of other good papers, and then find some solution, ideas. So human capacity is enormous. So don't think that you don't know, you cannot, but you must overcome your limitations by giving more time and efforts. Find application is exactly what you are looking for. Sometimes we are shifting from one to another. It's not research is not like your mind that you are thinking many things one after another. Okay, so be focused. So this is very important. Remember the goal or target always. For new approaches, think differently. It's difficult. We cannot do so easily, but still try. Need brainstorming. Think, what are the which research approaches are overlooked? Maybe somebody tried a method, but that was not that much suitable, but it has something which can be useful. So think about that. Learn from shortcomings or limitations of other methods, and uh, mm, try to an approach with different perspective. This is can be another one, and in some cases you can get ideas from the universe and creatures, like for example, like how a monkey, is it a monkey? Oh, human. Okay, this is looks like a okay. And then a different kind of spider robots and so on. Not like, this kind of line follower robots always. Okay, you can start with young students can start with this, but after a few months you have to think differently for different applications and real applications. Find suitable methods, like methodology that fits well. You must outline method, experimental plan, and data so that you can do accordingly. And there are some sources from where you can manage your time. I never tried that much, but it is very much useful that you can plan and aggregate the time. Need strong mathematics, especially for science and engineering fields, to understand what is the rationality, what is going on, and sample current opinions. If you have time and fund and support, solve big problems. But if you do not have enough time, like undergraduates or masters, where they get in many countries like a half a year or 1 year, to do along with the courseworks, then you cannot have enough time to do. So on that case, you can try something which is necessary for the community, local community, like ICT for farmers, or ICT based health service for poor and or rural areas, or in some cases food processing, preserving milk or fish during summer to keep longer. Okay, and sometimes mobile apps. And we must remember that, I mean, main cities, for example main Dhaka, or financially rich areas or people are not Bangladesh, not India. They are, most of the parts are rural areas. We have to think for those. Okay, so that I would like to conclude this part. You can get the previous two lectures here, or if you subscribe, then you can get the other two lectures. I'll add few more in the next slides: how to select a problem, and paper writing, reviewing, and selection of journals or conferences from CREB versus standard. These are my target to cover in the future lectures. This is the third one. Thank you so much.